A test. Okay, should be fine. Make this live. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, what's going on with the monitoring? Okay, let's monitor this thing. Audio. Okay, finally working. Music is working. Oh wow, this song. There are a couple of people I see. Is everyone hearing everything fine? Is everything coming through fine? Be lucky if we can go through half of that video. Having a lot of technical issues these days, but it's fine. Just making sure everything is rolling for the next one too. This song. Hey, st4wik. Dude, you gotta let me know if I'm butchering your name, by the way. I read it as st4wik, but I've heard people pronounce it differently, so I don't know. I was very ambitious starting this stream, but it might be a 30-minute one. So I actually really want to start. I'm very intrigued by your video because you're positioning it very differently, aren't you? Let me make sure everything is working fine, by the way. So, mic seems to be good. Looks like the screen is frozen. Let me restart that. There you go. Okay. Does this sound fine? I'm assuming it is from the numbers that I'm seeing with the volume. I hope so. Okay, now I'm curious. Let me check this one out quickly. Probably the first, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. The title is FF7's Future Hidden in Plain Sight in Corel Prison. Let me drop the link in the chat if someone checks it out later. What's going on with Palmer? Okay. Does this sound good? Is the balance between video and microphone good? I'm not gonna stop it a lot anyways. It's not like I have a long amount of time. Okay. Also starring Chifa, I'll smash him Lockhart. Dude, your way of making videos is very original. Hold on. Okay, I just adjusted it. Let me know if it's better now. What is that comment saying? Erit's gonna beat Sephiroth's ass with a folding chair. The streets don't call her Cherith Painsborough for nothing. I fully subscribe to that. I sound good. Oh, thank you. It's literally me and you reacting to your video. So this is very intimate. By the way, dude, thanks a lot for the shout out. Really appreciate it. And you know how much I love your stuff. Insane stunts. Action combat. Multiple girlfriends. What's it? Okay. Grand Theft Corel 7. How do you come up with this stuff? Definitely not available on all platforms.
Let's see. Did this idiot turn FF7 into a crime sim? My FF7! That's almost as crazy as taking a random character like Vincent and putting him in a third-person shooter game. Who the hell would do such a thing? That's crazy. Crazy! But on a more serious note, maybe it isn't so crazy, and there are hints in Corel, of all places, as to where this is all going.
Is it Corel or Coral? I've been pronouncing it Coral my whole life, so I don't know.
First,
Might be wrong.
And Rebirth spoilers ahead. I will also be referencing the original game and all of the compilation of
Final Fantasy VII.
That's a great impression.
while some people managed to move on from Rebirth after finishing it,
What do you mean move on? We have not. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna stop stopping. I'm not gonna stop this anymore.
personally have decided to move in. I didn't renovate Johnny's Inn for no reason. After spending many hours diving into the world of Remake, Rebirth, and Final Fantasy VII as a whole, I believe I've started to see a much clearer picture of where its world may take us next. Frankly, as I first played Rebirth, some of these elements didn't stand out to me at first. For example, I took the elevator down to Corel Prison, which, according to Kate, is a place with no bars, no rules. Ironically, almost immediately the party does end up behind bars. We
Yeah.
play some minigames, feed Pico some greens, ride it to victory, first try, obviously, finish up this drug deal, bump into Trevor in the desert,
Burn, you disrespectful pricks!
Plus 5 dB on the mixer. Okay,
Coral
give me one
Ecor,
sec.
and where
Let me know if this is better. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. So when I touch the mixer, just disables the video and I have to restart it. Is it better now?
hard, so get in, loser. We're going. We need Cisne to find out that Cloud's been thinking about Yuffie's beach bod. Oh no.
Cloud, what do you think you're doing?
And I had to find out why I hate Gongaga mushrooms. Just kidding, this chapter is really good. These mushrooms still suck. Overall, I thought Corel was interesting, but I only started to think about it more deeply when I revisited the game myself. Watched other people's reactions and analysis videos, like the one made by Last Elixir.
Yeah.
In that one, they delve into the details of how the Corel prison section was handled in the OG.
I haven't watched that full video yet, so I'm not sure if you actually dive into it. But yeah, it's still on my watch later list probably.
In a nutshell, the OG really nailed it. Through its world building and connection to the story, using 1997's technology, it delivered an almost cinematic and deep story experience, which explored grief through video game art. If you stack that against Rebirth, some of these OG elements are kind of missing. Interesting. Wait a minute. Is this game garbage?
Okay.
This stuff is nothing like the
Dude, I just love how there is literally a run-in, like an underlying story going on in all your videos, which tackles whether Remake is good or bad. Like, I believe since the first video, I have to rewatch the Aerith video. Great video, I agree. But I like that thread. You've been working on it for a while. I love that.
OG. Is this just a cheap knockoff version of Final Fantasy VII? Did the developers put FF7 into a blender, sprinkled some Unreal Engine 4 and decided to cash out?
How do you come up with these ideas, man?
Why, Nomura? Why? Well,
Oh my god.
that's what some people might have felt. Personally, I didn't really feel that strongly about it. Funny thing about feelings, we all have them and they're very personal. Sometimes they are incorrectly conflated with objective facts. For example, some people still feel betrayed that Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't basically a modded version of OG FF7. That's alright, I'm sorry you feel that way. But personally, I've enjoyed the new Corel. It made sense to me and I'd like to explain my reason why, and why I believe the developers were actually crafting the story.
I'm sorry to pause again. Do you, st4wik, I'm not sure if you like well, what I like the most about Corel, is when you go down during the night, right? You go down there during the night, and you look at the sky, and there is something that literally looks like a rift. made by stars, and it's something very similar to what you see in Cosmo Canyon as well. But the mood of the Corel prison during the night was amazing. I also appreciated it during the day. Kind of feels like it's too busy. It's supposed to be intimidating and to annoy you, right? And to feel like, I don't know, to feel like uncomfortable in it. It just makes sense, like wall market. But I still love seeing it during the night. Right, a lot of head scratch, and I hear you. I kind of feel in a I from remake I felt in a much better place from day one because I was like, I don't know, I didn't play that many video games, by the way, between those, like between the OG and between the early FF era and then remake. I played games, but I wasn't like a hardcore gamer. Uh, so I didn't have bigger expectations. Yeah, the night mood was great. But like I hadn't like I played Red Dead Redemption after remake. I played Last of Us probably after remake as well. I played a lot of games after remake. So I wasn't kind of like, well, this is not on par with what's happening elsewhere. And I didn't have really an attachment with the story within the OG that I really wanted to be that way. I was actually like, I really believed that this stuff was a sequel by the end of the remake, the first one. You might be surprised by that. I have to go and dig up some of my old posts. But yeah,
Very, very carefully.
I can guarantee you they won't underuse it in part 3, by the way.
Let's start with Corel Prison, bitch, which actually is named the Dust Bowl in Rebirth.
Yeah.
In many ways, it's kind of similar to the actual Corel f***ing prison. Neither look particularly welcoming. They are supposed to be dangerous places full of criminals. Of course, when we look closer, the differences are quite big. Corel Prison, bitch, is not that scary. The people are pretty rough, but it's another town, really.
So basically another wall market.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, Corel f***ing Prison, on the other hand, is a place you really want to leave as soon as possible. You get constantly attacked due to random encounters, and the place also used to be Barrett's home before the gold saucer was built on top of it, which is savage because the gold saucer was
Damn. That's fair. Wait, so you're saying that you believed that before watching Subtext's video, you still believed it was a spicy remake, but after watching his video, you kind of changed your mind and realized that it's actually not? This is such a unique perspective because almost everyone I know and talk about this with, like, which is my experience as well, which is that I was really on the, I'm not gonna say sequel train, but like I was like, I want to see the new version of the story after I finished remake because clearly there was something going on. When I finished Rebirth, it took me a month, but I was like, I came to a point where there is so many deception, and this stuff is still way too similar to the original to be anything other than a remake. There are probably elements of it which look like they are not leading to the same place, but I was just clear on my head that okay, it's leading towards the same place. The journey is going to be different. So you saying that you believed it was a remake until you finished Rebirth is when you started is a very unique perspective, and I'm actually curious to know why. Maybe you can let me in on that later, but yeah, I haven't talked to anyone who felt that way before. But I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's always good to change your mind with when being confronted with new evidence. New evidence being my videos. No, I'm joking. You can't say no to that. Oh. Wait, is the display still working? I just realized that it sometimes it freezes. I don't know why. Is it working now?
But just play f***ing Queen's Blood, bitch.
Okay, let me replay this segment because
Wait,
it seems
you
like
didn't
you're making
catch
an
that?
important point.
Let me replay it. See, he's saying this place looks like the old one, but no random encounters this time. There's Queen's Blood here now. Not everyone will be convinced that this is good, but just play f***ing Queen's Blood, bitch. Okay, I may be stretching it a little, but this game is so meta, it's crazy. See, the developers would love to break the fourth wall, but they cannot, so
Okay, sorry for that.
they
My OBS
massage
is
the
insane.
fourth wall with
So you're saying mostly because Remake didn't seem that big of a departure. You think? So you just... I find it not strange, but I find it very interesting that you believe the Harbinger to be more meta than actually changing anything versus the stuff we see in Rebirth. Look where I paused this. I felt that this... I felt that the stuff we saw in Rebirth was way less meta. Sorry, was more meta and actually even more intrinsic to Cloud's experience versus the Harbinger. Like the Harbinger stuff really felt like it was, we want to change Destiny when you look at it at face value. So I don't know. But it's interesting.
Love to break the fourth wall with sensual oils. And I feel those oils. And they feel
Your videos have everything.
luxurious.
Literally everything.
Or maybe this.
Oh my god.
Because you do not accidentally end up with a game that has this much hidden meta commentary.
I agree.
Have you noticed, for example, how the Loveless play seems to present elements from Final Fantasy VII's story as if it's FF7 remade inside FF7 itself? Well, that's a whole other video, but when you finish watching the play, you can overhear the developers again. They're saying how OG was not actually the end of the story, and no one
That's because it's not the end and the final portion of the poem remains lost to time. Okay.
Was OG a timeless classic because it was so open-ended? Well, what matters is that there is an ending we haven't seen yet.
Wow,
All the way back
okay.
in Sector 7 slums, another avid Loveless fan gushes about the play. But
I'm sorry, st4wik.
if
Do
you
you...
wait for a bit, she talks about
I'm sorry, I have a question. Have you... So, I can see you thought a lot about this Lost ending. Have you started considering this? I'm assuming you started considering this way before the Ever Crisis stuff, right? Because you literally put up the video, was it yesterday? And the Ever Crisis stuff was last week, so you probably had this idea before. But did that play into this? Because I'm seeing some of the Lost ending, you did mention possibilities in that comment. I'm curious to know how much of that played into this.
all the way back in Sector 7 slums, another avid Loveless fan gushes about the play. But if you wait for a bit, she talks about how the new version of FF7 is different. And then she says something very peculiar.
The finale's a touch different, but if you see it for yourself, you'll understand.
Oh my god, I hope they don't do
The
that.
finale's a touch different.
Oh my god, are they gonna leave it ambiguous? Are you suggesting they're gonna
Could
leave it
be.
ambiguous? Oh my god.
Alright, but why make all of these changes then? It seems like the whole world is being changed. I mean, let's rewind even further. So, we arrive at Costa del Sol, and the first thing our ninja spots, Shinra Middle Manager, in the flesh, holding an untranslated sign, Shinra Banzai. I don't know kanji, but I know what Shinra Banzai means, and why Yuffie is so pissed off. Oh lord, those cheap developers reusing assets from Remake again. So lazy. OG would never do such a... moving on. We actually spent...
Remake's ending didn't click, and I just moved on from it. Rebirth mostly just made me ask more questions. That's where I revisited Remake and was like, oh shit, they're cooking. Okay. All right, I understand your perspective better now. So with Remake, you weren't also that invested in this whole meta plot, whatever. You were like, just we don't have enough information to even dive into this, because I can relate to that. I was like, I'm interested to see where this is going. Although I thought that story would be different, because clearly we were defeating the Harbinger of Fate with visions of the future coming out of it. But I was still like, literally Midgar is what, 15% of the game, so let's give it more time. That's why I didn't start making any theory videos after Remake. And I'm glad I didn't, because my ideas would have been totally crap. Even worse than what they are now. Imagine what my ideas would have been after finishing Remake. That was just ignorance.
and a bit of
Yeah.
time with Edward hunting Cactuar graffiti, but more on that later. Costa del Sol also has a very corrupt Shinra-affiliated mayor. After that, we eventually end up in Barrett's hometown, or what's left of it, a village in North Corel. Barrett gets a cold reception from its residents, but we bump into Dr. Sheeran, who took care of Tifa's injuries after the Nibelheim incident, and is currently studying some black robes.
I do need to check out who suggested Sephiroth be there and got not backlash, but like, I don't know if it's Toriyama who suggested it to Nomura or the opposite. But one of them suggested it and the other one was like, it's going to be difficult, and they managed to pull it off. And you know what? I'm starting Kingdom Hearts for the first time, believe it or not, 1. And I don't know if you've played Kingdom Hearts, but the first 15%, 10% of the game, I was like, what the hell is the Harbinger doing here? And then I just started understanding why people are like making parallels between Kingdom Hearts and this. But I mean, clearly it's not the same, but I was really shocked.
While he's not one to brag about it, Dr. Sheeran seems to have some influence on this village, as the villagers rely on him for certain resources. Then we go to the Gold Saucer, where we meet Dio, the park director of this sort of town.
The Peck director.
The Gold Saucer is owned by Shinra and requires a vast amount of Mako to run. Dio, however, seems like a pretty stand-up guy. Finally, we go down to Corel Prison, bitch, where we meet Gus, who runs it. Gus is not directly affiliated with Shinra, but is very self-interested, unlike someone like Dr. Sheeran. So that's 4 towns that paint an interesting mosaic of Corel. We have Shinra and non-Shinra affiliated mayors, and on each side we have negative and positive characters. This is a rough scale, but Kopono and Gus are pretty corrupt and terrible people, in contrast to Dio, who is more fair and genuine, and Sheeran, who I'm sure could find something better to do than study black robes and help the frustrating people of North Corel. Rebirth's Corel is set up to almost perfectly contrast each town, and is doing so by playing some interesting tricks with its source material.
Man, I love the angle you're using to approach this. Like, it's almost as if you have like a mini universe within Corel, I believe is where you're going. Obviously I'm only 13 minutes into 56 minutes. I have 5 minutes left, so I'm gonna watch the remaining 5 minutes. But yeah, I think you know the quote I'm talking about, yeah. I think it might have been Toriyama, but I'll have to check. And by the way, Toriyama's involvement just, dwindled after the first part. So maybe the fact that the endings of Remake and Rebirth are different in nature. I think technically also the Remake gameplay and the Rebirth gameplay, there is definitely an evolution with Hamaguchi, like, just being more involved. So I don't know if there was something there with a bit less Toriyama and a bit more Hamaguchi. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not close enough for this stuff to know, really.
Sections in the game that have been changed compared with of comparison.
Right. Here you go.
There's been plenty of comparisons of specific areas or sections in the game that have been changed compared with OG. Similarly to Corel Prison, some things seem to be missing or twisted around in Rebirth. if compared side by side. People have different opinions as to why and how these changes are made.
Right.
One of the more informative yet entertaining analysis is in a video.
Okay, well, actually, I have to jump out right away. Thanks a lot, st4wik. I need to go and get set up for the next one. And I feel like I haven't. So I need to stop it here because this is where I want to rewatch. When I resume, this is where I want to go and rewatch it. So, dude, thank you so much. Narrator reveal, yeah. And I hope we get some time to do it today or tomorrow, but I'll let you know, guys, on the Discord. If you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. You will find it. Where can I watch the video I'm watching? You can find it here. Let me see if it's still going to be on the link. There you go. Yeah. And I recommend you guys go and watch it first, because I'm not going to be able to finish it, as you can see. And yeah. Thanks, st4wik. We'll check it out later.